take a gulp. You scratch your tongue because it is harsh. And it is not rich enough to travel further. So as if you scratch and stop there. When you drink a better tea, it is smoother. So you travel faster, maybe to the midst of the tongue and stop there. The better the tea, the smoother it is. The flow will be much easier. When you are drinking a very good tea, there will be no pressure on the tongue. You forget about your tongue. It's like a steam of aroma and fragrance in full blossom. So to say so is so abstract. You need to drink. See, a normal tea, because it is harsh, when you take a sip, scratch, harsh, and not rich, so it just stop there. A better one, smoother, come to the midst. Even better, go to the back, splash up to the upper palate. The faster it splash, the further it goes, the better it is. Finally, if you have a very good chance to have to have all the good criteria for preparing a good tea, best water, best equipment, and you know how to brew the tea well. Like a steam of aroma in full fragrance, and there's no boundary. It's not in the mouth, going up and down. So drinking is believing. I hope your stay here for your journey here this time, you have a chance to taste such a tea. Actually, you should be able to have a chance, because we brought the water all the way from Malaysia. Spritzer, our water. This is the best water so far. I've traveled to some countries. I have not met a better water than this. So we take the trouble to ship the water to Hong Kong first. Then a friend of us promised to smuggle over. we sent 30 cartons, 60 bottles, but he was able to only sneak in five cartons. We have only 10 bottles of the water to spare this time. So we have to keep this water for the gathering, or else if we have 30 cartons, then we can use the water lavishly, generously. But now we are quite fortunate, but not enough blessing from the Lord. We have only 10 bottles of this. Then the charcoal also from Malaysia. We have charcoal from the mangrove swamp. Then burn them without enough supply of oxygen. Then we will turn into charcoal after 1 month. So these are good charcoal for cooking and for boiling water. And this time we are using German kettle to boil water. Finally using the Yixing kettle for brewing tea. Tonight, because it's just a family gathering, so we just brew tea here. In the tea gathering, we will have alcohol burner with the purple clay kettle sitting on the alcohol burner to keep warm. But boiling water will be charcoal and German drilling hanger kettle, because it was my experience for many years sourcing a teaware to boil water. At first, I was using old using teapot for boiling, but occasionally it will crack. So I feel unfair because such an antique come to my hand and I destroyed it. It's not the money. Something that's precious coming to my hand, I'm not good enough to take good care of it. So we are trying to source a good kettle for boiling. At first I tried Japanese steel kettle. It's good, but not to our expectation. Finally, I tried drilling hanger, the cooking pan, because this is more recent. Only last few years we have this. Prior to that, only the cooking pan. We tried the cooking pan to cook the water. It turned out to be marvelous. Then we tried to study. Actually, cast steel, no joint, 3 layers. The medium layer is aluminum, last layer for induction cooker. So it's a sandwich. The aluminum layer is good enough to absorb heat fast and spread the heat evenly to the water for boiling. So looking at the boiling of the water in the cooking pan, we find that the bubbles rise up vigorously and not knocking one another. By other means, those glass boiler from Taiwan and all that, the bubbles, big and small, knocking one another. Cooking from the cooking pan, all straight up, lively. Even bubbles, because they absorb even heat from the bottom. So no knocking into one another means not so harsh. Water boiled from such equipment will be smoother. So today the water we use is the water from China, Nongfu Sanquan. This is the best water so far we could source in China. So a substitute to our water is the Nongfu Sanquan for tonight. Can you tell this? This one you should pass around. Can you tell? Which is better? The one with the dot actually is better. Looking at the make of the tea, take a smell. Finally, we are going to drink the tea, the one with the dot, after this. So to enjoy a fine cup of tea first, fine tea, then water. Water usually we believe that mountain water comes first, spring water, river water, then well water. This is what we learned from the tea classic, Cha Jing, 1200 years ago, written by the tea sage, Wuyi. He mentioned that best water come from the spring, followed by river water, finally well water. Today, it's not easy for us to source spring water, river water, or even well water because they are polluted. River waters are quite polluted nowadays. And after our years of trying with waters, not necessarily a water from a famous spring will be good. It's how you source the water. After years of comparison and researching, we discovered that fine water will be lighter. It will float. Something that settles down will be not so good. So even from a bottle of water, you can source. The upper part will be better. So when we go and source water from the river, then we should look at how the water flows. If it is too swift flowing, it won't be good. So it should be winding more rivers so that it slow down. When it slow down, they try to purify. Better water will be lighter, floating on top, overflowing. If possible, all good water flowing into another small pond, then from here overflowing again to another one. So this is a biodynamic, we call. When you want to source good water for producing a nice glazing, you need to use fine water, good water. Am I not right? So this is biodynamic. So after going a few process, then the water will be really fine. So we need to know how to scoop actually from a fine spring. And the time to scoop. After a few heavy downpour, it won't be good. It will be disturbed, the water. So sunny days, you clear away the rubbish, then you wait for a good time to scoop the water. Definitely, morning will be better than afternoon. So if you cannot source water by yourself, then you buy water nowadays. So we have drinking water, mineral water. So try to compare and contrast. That's how we come to a conclusion. We are using our spritzer for years. You will be trying this water tomorrow. So with fine tea, fine water, definitely you must have good equipment. You'll be seeing how our master making a pot day after tomorrow. Then you will know more about equipment. So we try to skip equipment usually. Until today, the best will be Yixing teaware. 500 years unrivaled. Yixing clay and only Yixing clay is best for tea. After the discovery of Yixing clay 500 years ago, until today, unrivaled. No other material is better than Yixing clay. Yixing is the place, Yixing is the only place to have such a clay. So after that, how you brew the tea. Each and every step counts. See, the way to prepare tea, first, we warm up the equipment. Then, put in tea leaves and add water. Not to the brim. Maybe 60 to have the pot 60 or 70% filled. You need space to breathe. Then you replace the lid and shower from without. We need to shower from without to reduce the difference of temperature in and out. If the temperature of inside is much higher than outside, there's hot air rises, hot air expands. There's a tendency to rush, to come out, to expand. So these are disturbances. So your tea will be harsh. So in short, to brew a good pot of tea, we try to maintain a high and constant temperature, the highest possible usually, unless green tea. So our aim is to maintain a constant high temperature temperature, the higher the better. So that is not easy. Hopefully to maintain a high constant temperature, that is not easy. It's our aim to do that. Then it will be steady all the while. If the temperature rise and fall, so difference of temperature will varies all the time. So it really disturbs the tea that we steep. So apart from that, with good tea, good water, the right method to brew tea, equipment, finally, the environment for tea drinking. Those days, they are, for the scholars, they have every means to exploit, to enjoy good environment for tea. So they drink tea while boating around. Su Tongpo, our Song scholar, while boating around, they are enjoying tea on the boat. They have fine garden for tea drinking. Or they enjoy tea while raining water splashing the banana leaves. Beautiful scenery. So those days they have beautiful scenery while enjoying tea. Today, so long as the ventilation is good, then the environment is green. I suppose it's good enough for tea. 明窗净几了. So if the environment is clean, it's quiet, and good ventilation, I feel and I consider it's good enough for enjoying a fine cup of tea. And finally, and not the least, your companion for tea. Because if you are not in the right company, tea drinking will be very different. So for myself, I hope to have someone who like to drink tea and know how to drink tea, to share a cup of tea. Sometimes when we have a tea gathering, people are talking about politics, talking about shares, investment. So deviation. Should someone be very talkative, talking a lot, it will also affect your attention for tea. See, what is so good about this tea drinking? We have a saying, mere drinking, just simple drinking is good for health. 喝茶养生. Just drinking is already good enough for health. First and foremost, the tea should be green. It is not polluted. All teas are good if they are not polluted. Because nowadays we cannot guarantee it. Because to have good harvest, to have fast harvest, they use a lot of fertilizers, chemicals. So long as they are free of this, a natural tea, it should be good for health. So mere tea drinking is good for health. If you really enjoy a cup seriously, then we say 品茶, 3 mouths for the Chinese. If you really appreciate a tea, it's like purifying yourself. As Aaron said, 喝茶也是一种修行了. Tea drinking is purifying. Because when we are serious with tea drinking, when you really appreciate a cup of tea, you will really take good care about many tips and points. Finally, nowadays, because the tea market is so hot, certain people invest in pu'er and make the bucks. So we do have a saying, to stock some teas will make you wealthier. You will be more wealthy if you really stock some good teas. Because even if you don't make the money, you enjoy better, you can enjoy good tea. If you don't really stock some tea for later drinking, you have to spend more money buying them to drink. Now if you want to buy a biscuit of pu'er, 50 years pu'er, how much? 60,000 renminbi. 600,000 renminbi. So if you want to drink such a tea, you have to spend 600,000 for that biscuit of tea. But if you have stocked the tea much earlier on, then you can enjoy the tea anytime you wish, at your wish. So whether you're wealthy or not, you will be more easier, more at ease to drink better tea, more expensive tea, because you bought them cheap those days, keep until today, you have a chance to drink better tea at a cheaper cost. So that in a way also make you healthy, more wealthy. So just now the two samples of tea. Can you discern that? Which is better? No. You try again.
I think this one.
Yeah, exactly. You see, at the look, this one tightly twisted.
Yeah.
This one looser. And you see, this one blocking here and there, more holes. And the color and the sheen, you see, good, better luster. So if you know, it's easy.
And also the smell is fine.
By viewing, by smelling, finally drinking. You see, the one on my left hand will be better. More tightly twisted and better luster, especially from far you can tell. Better luster. Finally, when you take a sniff, if I just say, an average tea will be blocking your nose, pinching your nose. A better one, a thicker airflow rush up to your nasal cavity. So it's easy to, simple and easy if you know. So you need to practice. You need to acquire the ability to listen, or else it's difficult if you listen to a salesman. Definitely their tea will be the best. This applies to all teas. This is oolong tea. If you are judging green tea and even pu'er, it's also the same. You are drinking this, take a pu'er. You are drinking this pu'er just now. You are drinking this pu'er. This is Yiwu pu'er. Have you heard of Yiwu? It's a famous mountain for pu'er tea. So from far you can see, is it? From far you can see and you can tell. Tightly twisted. Upon great pressure, stone molded. The twists and curls still resist the pressure. So you can see the composition of the leaves, like a flower that is about to open up. You can see the strength within and the luster. So this is a good pu'er tea from the trunk, big bushes, 400 to 800 years ago. Old. The bush is 400 to 800 years old. This tea, the same way. When you take a sniff, you will challenge your breath. A common pu'er, when you take a sniff, hot it, stop from time to time, and pinch your nose. Usually we have a universal, standard way to judge a tea. Is worldwide acceptance. You use a porcelain cup. Volume is around 150 cc's. 3 grams of the leaves in. Steep the tea for 5 minutes. So with the same base, same criteria, then it is fair to compare and contrast. That is what the masters are doing in the tea factories. And when we talking about grades of tea, the performance of tea, this is for research and for comparison. But if you are drinking tea at home, you are using the same equipment, your own method, so it's quite fair actually. We are trying to have a fair ground to compare and contrast. So the standard way is universal acceptance. To judge this tea is good or not, at home I'm using my own way, so it's also fair. But as I've said before, when Aaron interviewed me, I'm 61 years old, 61 changes. From time to time, the way I judge tea varies. The way I prepare tea, because I'm researching for years and I'm knowing more and more. And using finer tips and judgment. Actually, a single deviation of your step will affect the tea actually. So you have to be really compare tea on a fair ground. Let's say if you don't rinse the tea don't shower the tea from without, the tea will be harsh. Even if it's a good tea, it will be harsher if you brew it properly. So we have to be quite careful when you brew tea. For this tea brewing, first, sometimes we have a tea boat underneath, then the pot here. After showering, you are supposed to drain away the water. At first, the water is trying to add more heat to the pot, but after some time, the water underneath is going to drain away the heat actually. Because the heat dissipated away from the water easier than from the equipment, purple clay or the pot. So you need to drain away the water. Because today we cannot demonstrate step by step. When you go back, you can try. If you don't drain away the water, it will be harsher. So tea preparation, get yourself ready. Be at ease. How to be at ease? You play Tai Chi? No, simple. Parallel. Your feet parallel. 含胸拔背. This one like hanging. Then you're at ease. So even your movement, try to be at ease. For instance, if I want to lift, if you raise your elbow, you strain your shoulder. So drop your elbow, and you'll be feeling much at ease here. So when you want to lift this, not like that. It's actually drop your elbow. And to go higher, it's like that. Not so when I want to lift this, just like Tai Chi, So you are not using a strength, it goes naturally. When I turn my elbow in, just go up automatically. So it's the same. When I turn my elbow in, it's so much easier. When I lift my strength, my muscles, so it's full strength. It is harsh, rigid. You see, you can see it's rigid. See why? When I drop this in, it's smooth. So easy. Try to exploit the structure, the mechanism of the structure of the body. So turn in, lift out. No, you're not using a strength. It's easy. Don't think of it. It's the best. You're trying to think of it to draw a circle, it will be rigid also. So it's easy. Because we stress much on yin and yang. When you drink tea, your right hand will be different. For myself, my left hand is better, smoother, but it's still better. Both hands, yin and yang, will be in good balance. So immediately the sip of tea go up, hang up to the ceiling, to my upper palate. You can try that, right? More teas, please. This is Liubao. Have you heard of Liubao cha before? Liubao cha is from the province of Guangxi, the Guangxi province, Wuzhou County. This is called black tea in Mandarin, hei cha. So what should we call it in English?
I've taught them to say red tea.
Huh?
I've taught them to say red tea for black tea, so we try to correct this mistake.
So it should be black tea actually.
It is.
Black tea, black tea is late fermentational tea. That means we arrest fermentation in the first place and try to promote oxidation and fermentation in the later course of preparation. That's why it's called late fermentational tea. Like the dark pu'er that you drink is considered as black tea also. The green pu'er is different. So for the processing of this tea, you fry the tea first. When we want to make tea anyhow, you have to heat them up, then only you can roll them. You can heat them up by means of steaming or frying or even just sun drying. For white tea, just sun dry, then it will curl up and it is white tea, simple. For other teas, let's say green tea, longqing, you fry until you shape them, longqing. Can you longqing? Good. Pi lo chun. Why? You want to review the hairs on the tea, the pi lo chun. For longqing, you have to try to scrape away the hairs. Less hair, better. So spread them, let the water perspire away. Then you try to roll them. Then press them. Finally, try to get rid of the hairs. For this Liubao, you fry them, then you roll and heap and par. Because those days production tea grow grew in Guangxi. So they have not enough oven to dry up the tea. So they just pile up the tea by a side. The following morning, then they try to dry the teas. So after overnight heaping, it's already fermented. So the tea is better, tastes better in a way, rather than green. So that's how by accident, they discovered the heap and piling method. For this tea, 2 heap and piling. First heap and piling, then they dry the leaves, then they steam the tea again, heap and pile again, and finally reheat again to compress the leaf into the cage. So this processing is very different from pure tea. Heating up many times and drying up in the middle by pine wood. So you have that smoke flavor from this tea because it was dried up by pine wood at quite a high temperature, 90 degrees Celsius. So we consider high. Wuyi tea only 60 degrees Celsius. So we say it's 文火, just mid fire, low fire for Wuyi tea, but longer hours, 6 to 7 hours of drying. The tea you are going to drink after this, Wuyi tea. So Liubao is popular in Malaysia because once upon a time Malaysia was the largest producer of tin in the world. Lots of tin mining in Malaysia, and the workers exposed to sunlight, rainfall, cold and heat, so they will get sick easily. So by chance I discovered drinking Liubao helped them a lot to prevent all this illness. So we have incidents, miners that couldn't supply Liubao drinking, couldn't recruit new workers, failed to recruit workers for their mining. That show that Liubao was how important to the workers, the laborers those days. So if it is good for the tin miners, it is better than us. Because we don't have such, we are not exposed to such climatic condition. We are much healthier in a way. So this tea will really help us to build up, to promote our health better. As a Chinese saying say, if you have any sickness, it try to cure you. If not, it try to build up your health. 有病治病，无病强身了。If you are not sick, this tea help to promote your health better. If you are sick, it try to help you, to cure you. So it's good to wait. It's a training. When she is brewing the tea with all the steps, it forces your attention. When you are attentive, you start to relax. As you relax, you regain your mindfulness. This is hitherto what we are lacking in the fast-moving world. Mindfulness. If you don't have your mindfulness, you don't give a damn to someone who is beautiful, to something that is beautiful around us. If you regain your mindfulness, the hissing of the kettle is more musical, and your boyfriend or girlfriend is much prettier. mindfulness. We are losing our mindfulness. So drinking tea helps to regain your mindfulness. So when we are attentive, we regain our mindfulness. When we regain our mindfulness and we start to relax, you start to recharge your batteries, regain your vitality, rejuvenate. So for ladies who are not drinking tea, you have to drink more. Tea helps to rejuvenate. So in this fast-moving world, we should find an excuse to drink tea. Don't give any excuse that you don't have time. Find an excuse to drink tea, taking a rest to go for a longer journey. This is Chinese belief. To go for a far long journey, you need to take a rest from time to time. You cannot go straight away to your destination. So find an excuse to drink tea. See, for the Chinese, to create a word is wisdom. What is busy in Chinese? The heart. The other component, your heart is dead when you are busy. To the Chinese, mang, busy means heart, this one is dead. If you are busy, your heart is dead. So don't tell people that you are busy. Something is going to go wrong somewhere if you are busy. So find an excuse to drink tea. Taking a rest to go for a longer journey. So have you tried your Liubao? Okay, Liubao. It's very different from other teas. We say this is the tea solution is darker in color. Then we say this is like Penang flavor. We have a state in Malaysia called Penang. It's an island full of this Penang tree. And the flavor and fragrance of this Liubao resemble to that fruit, the Penang. This tea is 30 years old. It was made during the 80s. And preparation of Liubao varies from time to time. Before 1958 is traditional way of preparing Liubao. After 58, they have adjusted the heap and pile method. Prior to that, the heaping was not that high, around 1 meter high. And they discovered that if the heaping is not high enough, steam dissipated away faster. So the heap and piling is not enough, not deep enough. So later on, they pile up more to 1.5 meters high. Then they even spray some water on the bottom, on a wooden base, wooden platform. They have a wooden platform for the heap and piling. So they made the base, spray some water on the wooden piling, then pile up, finally cover up. So that will reduce the time of steeping to only 1/10 of the time spent for the traditional way of heaping. Only around 24 hours is enough. Prior to that, they have to spend 20 days for the heap and piling. So they cut short the time of preparation. So time is money. Then, quite around the late 70s, they feel that even that way also not fast enough. Steaming and piling. They try all method. Finally, they settle down with spraying with cold water. Prior to that, steam the tea and heat up. Around the late 70s, they discover spraying method, spraying water onto the tea, try to spread evenly. Until when you hold up a bunch, drop them, they won't stick together. They will drop separately, and there's no remain of moisture on your pump. That will be good. So they can have a bigger piling and so much easier, no steaming. Spraying of cold water is so easier compared to steam the teas and pile up. So after the 80s, the taste of Liubao will be different from Liubao earlier on. The traditional packaging of Wuyi茶了 Now we are going to put this Wuyi tea. This is one of the top 4 Wuyi tea. So to us, the best will be Da Hong Pao, the six trees you are going to see tomorrow. That is the best tea, best Wuyi tea, Da Hong Pao. Money cannot buy. Because the harvest is only 5 to 8 taels 1 year. 1 tael is 37.5 grams. So by 5 will be less than 200 grams to 300 grams 1 year, the harvest for the 6 trees. So money cannot buy. And a few years ago, the Queen of Holland visited Wuyi Mountain, and the chief abbot of the monastery accompanied her. Even Her Excellency Her Majesty has no chance to drink Da Hong Pao. So I wonder who will have a chance. See. Definitely if the chairman wants to drink, he will have the privilege, but he may not enjoy oolong tea. That depends. So according to a source, the 6 bushes owned by the forestry department, being taken good care by the Wuyi Tea Research Institute. After production, the tea will be sent to the mayor of this county, of this state, the mayor. So it's up to the mayor how to deal with this tea. The last, usually by auction, people has a chance to buy the tea. The last was second last, return of Hong Kong to China, 1997. 2 small bottles for 2 million renminbi. And for the people who had tried the tea before, what we know until today is Chen Jiageng, the founder of the Xiamen University, because he really contributed a lot to China those days. So he was blessed to have a chance to try the tea. A Chinese from Singapore, he donated a lot of money, so started a Xiamen University in Xiamen. And so according to a story that he tried the tea before, the Da Hong Pao. So this Teh Lok Han that we are going to drink will be the second in line. The best will be Da Hong Pao, followed by this, then Sui Jing Gui, Bai Ji Guan. Da Hong Pao, the grand red robe, Iron Arahant, Teh Lok Han, followed by Sui Jing Gui, water golden tortoise. Then white coxcomb. This is 四大名虫了. The top 4 Wuyi teas in China. So this is the second. So from far you can see it's good tea. Tightly twisted. You see the color scheme, very steady. It's actually, it looks black, actually dark green in color. When it opens up, it is not black. That's why there's an ambiguity in the black tea those days. Down here, when they process the tea, they witness the tea turning red, finally very red. So we call them Hong Cha. As you dried up the tea, the finished product looks black in color. So when they ship the tea to the West, so call them black tea. That's how the ambiguity arises those days. Down here, the process, and now it's turning red, finally very red. So red tea. But marketing over to the West, the finished product looks black. So black tea. For Lipton. See, this one also looks quite black. It's actually dark green in color. And you can see there's a white powdery coating on the surface. You have to observe with your heart. White powdery coating on the surface. Why there's a white powdery coating? As they roll the tea, the thick juices will be forced out. They bruise the cell, the compartments, and the juice. The thick sap and juices will be forced out. As they dry the tea, water vapor will be driven away. So the essence of tea will lay on the surface of the leaf. They are white powdery in looking. If it's all soluble, then it should be crystal-like looking. For unsoluble things, more powdery looking. So with such a white powdery coating on the surface, tells you that it is a good tea, well done. The rolling is very even. Good work. Then it's well spread on the surface, the white powdery. Wuyi tea is so special because you travel to the garden already, the scenic garden. we call Jing Chi. The river that you travel, the winding rivers. So the scenic garden is enclosed by the river. So garden that is enclosed by this river is considered the cliff tea. Tea from there. Away from the river is considered 外山茶了. Tea from other mountains, not from the cliff. When you look at the garden, usually they try to source a valley to build up the terraces. So 3 phases of the green will be nourishing the ground, both face and the main face. And they even source rocks from other mountains to build up the terraces. They show how they treasure their plant, their tea bushes. The rocks not from the Wuyi mountain itself, is from other places. They use a rock to build up the terraces. There are 99 plot mountains forced from the ocean. Originally, this piece of land lying beneath the ocean, so forced up as block mountains. You can see some sediments from the sea, so it's very rich. And they are all big rocks. In the afternoon, the sun shines onto the rocks, they will absorb the heat. So at night, the metamorphosis is still going on. So more time for producing food for the plants. And this is a special mountain with the tolerance to embrace 3 religions. This is a mountain that embraces 3 religions: Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. We have Zhu Xi, the famous Song scholar, starting a school teaching Confucius teaching in Wuyi mountain. Then we have famous Taoists like Bai Yichan, very famous Song Taoist, living here those days. Then we have famous temple 400 years ago. The temple you are going to visit tomorrow, 400 years old, built during the Ming Dynasty. 喝到茶了，他们。
现在已经去到了。
So to take a sip, you know the difference. This is good cliff tea. Should a tea be good, it is subtle, refined. A common and average tea will be weird, neither this nor that. This is very clear, subtle, refined. And you know it is good from the aftertaste. After drinking the tea, it's still in the mouth. Aroma and fragrance still traveling in the mouth. As you swallow your saliva, as if you are still drinking the tea. So you cannot finish the tea. It's still in the mouth. So tasting is believing. Just now, when I said so, it was so abstract. Now, taking a sip, you know what is good tea. It's still in the mouth, aftertaste. We judge a tea whether it is good or not by the body, not by the fragrance or by the taste. The fragrance varies from time to time. The taste also varies from time to time. But the body will remain, will be the same. So drinking a good tea, you feel comfortable. Your body is a good judge. If it's not good, you feel rejection from the body. If the tea is good, your internal organs is trying to grab the tea. You see, you feel so comfortable. Even the stomach feel warm. Or the whole passage to the stomach is nice. And when you drink the next cup, try to take a good study. Try to really notify what is really happening. When you take a good tea, you don't feel the entrance of the tea through your throat down to the stomach. You feel that it fresh up to the. You don't feel the entrance, the passage of tea through your throat. It is actually a common passage from the mouth through the tongue, the throat, then down the entrail to the stomach. But this tea, you don't feel that. You take a sip, because your attention all captured by the tea, that splash upward. The passage over the throat is overshadowed by the feeling of the outburst. The aroma and fragrance in full blossom capture your attention. There. The passage down to the stomach, you don't feel that really. You can try it.